5 most common mistakes that female entrepreneurs make. Female business owners, women business owners, whatever we call ourselves. There are 5 mistakes that I have seen with thousands of customers, thousands of coaching clients, thousands of women that I've worked with and met and dealt with over the years in terms of building and starting and running their own businesses, from solopreneurs to, multi-million-dollar organizations and companies. The mistakes that we make and we encounter, because I've made a lot of these mistakes myself, are the same. But not only am I going to tell you what the mistakes are, I'm going to tell you how to avoid them, to make sure you don't fall prey to any one of these mistakes and kill your business. So what is the number one thing, the number one mistake I see female entrepreneurs, or actually any entrepreneurs, making when they go about starting their business? And that is, they hop into a business that is something that they're not passionate about, or something that they just hear is a good business or they could make a lot of money in, but it's not a business that they have a competitive advantage in. It's not a business that they have a unique selling proposition, which is a fancy way of saying you have an unfair advantage in this business or this industry in terms of your ability to relate to the customers that you're going to serve, or the insights, or you've been part of the audience that you want to serve. You've solved a problem and you're going to solve it for them as well, which we'll get into one of the next things that we talk about. But you don't go into a business because you approach it from, this is my one thing, this is the place I can make the biggest impact. Here's my unfair advantage. Here's what's unique about my experiences, about me, about who I am and where I come from, that makes me have an advantage to serve the world. And you just go into a Me Too business or something. You can work your butt off. You can work harder than anybody else in the industry, but without that competitive advantage, without that thing that makes you unique and special and different, the thing that makes you you, you're just another Me Too. And another Me Too isn't going to create the business that changes the world, the business that you want to create. And that's the reason most of us entrepreneurs get in business in the first place, right? So number one solution, find a business, pick a business, choose a business, or if you're already in a business because it's been chosen for you, find your unique spin on that business that can make you have an unfair advantage. I was in the Italian food business for 37 years. Not because I'm Italian, not because I love Italian food, although I love Italian food. We made the world's best handmade Italian food. But guess what? It was, for me, another Me Too type business. I didn't have a unique advantage in that business except what we created, and we did create it to make that business a success. But when I got into it, we had some unique things that we did in the business, but I didn't come into it focusing on my unique strengths and the things that I could bring to that business. And there were a lot of them. I am a whiz at creating processes and systems and planning and making sure we get repeat expected good quality results all the time out of processes and systems. But we didn't enter that business thinking that we had a unique advantage. We were just we love this business. It's a good business. Let's buy this business and let's create what we want out of it. And it was harder for us, I think, because we didn't find that unique selling proposition. We didn't find what made us uniquely qualified to run and lead that business. So pick a business that you have got an unfair advantage in. Think about your past. Think about your past experiences. What makes you uniquely qualified to enter the business that you're in or that you want to get into? And if you're already in it, do what we did in the Italian food business. Okay, we're in this. We love this business. What do we love about it? And what do we uniquely bring to the table that we can present to customers that will make them pick us over other Italian food manufacturers? And that's what we ended up doing. But it's easier if, when you're picking a business, you pick one that you already have an unfair advantage or a competitive advantage in. Number two most common problem I see is that we pick a business, or we get into a business, or we're solving problems for customers that are not even really problems. We're actually creating problems for them so that we can solve it with our products or services. If I think about, does Italian food manufacturing have a burning desire for people? No, it's not an urgent problem. It's not a hot burning problem like a hot coal, or if you're plumbing or you're electric or your furnace goes out in the winter, if your freezer goes out in your Italian food business, that is a burning desire. That is an urgent problem. So having a great electrician or a great plumber, or having a problem solving focus, but solving a real hot problem, is going to make it easier for you to run your business. It'll make it better for you to serve your customers. Every customer base on the planet has burning hot problems. Are you solving their wants or their desires or their urges? Or are you solving something that is a matter of life or death to them? Now, it might not be a matter of life or death to other people. Say you're selling Rolex watches. Okay, nobody's going to die if they don't have a Rolex watch, right? But to your customers, to your ideal customers, they will die if they don't have that Rolex watch. That's the burning desire you're going to solve for them. How are you going to help them get that Rolex watch that they desire so much? With your unique perspective, your unique way of doing things, your unique approach. Maybe you were a person that had a burning desire to have that Rolex watch, and now you find ways for people to creatively get Rolex watches. I'm obviously spitballing this, but you understand what I mean. If you solve a red hot problem, a problem that keeps your customers up at night, you are on the right track. So what do you do if you got into a business and you're in a business already and you're not solving urgent problems? You're just solving, oh, what's for dinner? Because what's for dinner is not an urgent problem because people have infinite choices of what's for dinner, right? You find creative ways to make that a burning desire for people, right? I want to be the best mom in the whole wide world. I want to serve my family the best dinner for New Year's or Christmas. I need to have DeBruzzi handmade Italian food. Whatever it is, you work it so that it works for you. But again, it's easier if you find out what are your ideal customers, your ideal clients, burning desires. What do they really have problems with? And if you can solve a red hot problem for them, do it. I think about my medical history and chronic pain. I've had chronic pain my whole life, and migraines. Migraines are like people versus headaches. A migraine versus a headache. If you have migraines, you understand that some people that just have headaches think headaches are migraines. Oh my God, there's such a difference. So if I create a headache cure or an aspirin for the general public versus a migraine cure for people that have migraines, their problem's a lot more urgent than somebody that just has a headache or a toothache, right? So it allows you to really solve a burning problem for people. That is always the fastest, easiest way to create the organization that you want, is really solve big problems for people, not just things that are nice. It's nice to have a new pen. Do I need a new pen? No, it's a lot harder to get somebody to buy a new pen if they don't need a new pen than it is to solve their freezer or their migraine or their plumbing problem, right? Third biggest mistake I see people making is they don't actually have a business system or a strategy or have selected a business where the numbers work out to create the lifestyle that they want. If I have a hot dog stand and I want a multi-million dollar lifestyle, that might not be a good match. Me having a hot dog stand, one hot dog stand, isn't going to necessarily create me my $1 million lifestyle that I want. Now, there are ways to take that hot dog stand and make it into a $1 million lifestyle creator. Say you go to state fairs in Minnesota. The Minnesota State Fair is huge. You can have a hot dog stand there. If you get a hot dog stand there, you can make $1 million in 2 weeks, right? So it's possible. It's just depending on the business plan and the structure that you select and the products and services you decide to provide. You got to know if those numbers are going to work out to create the lifestyle that you want. If I'm a coach or a service provider and I charge $20 an hour for my services, and again, I want a certain lifestyle, is it humanly possible for me to create the lifestyle I want with the business model or the pricing structure or the products and services that I'm designing to sell? Now, you can always add other products and services and offerings to what you do, right? That's the solution. If you're already in a business and you figure out that the numbers aren't working out for you, there's a lot of things that you can do to change that business model, tweak it up, add different products and services to make the numbers work for you. But again, you have to know what the numbers are to make sure that they work for you. So know your numbers, know that you've got the right business model, the right structure, the right offers to make your business work for you. I didn't really talk about it, but I want to pop back a little bit and talk about who are you serving. Make sure that you've picked a group of people, and that goes back to your unfair advantage, that you want to serve and are serving and are giving value to and are solving problems for. You have to pick. You can't serve everyone on the planet. Yep, there's 8 billion people on the planet, more than enough for everybody to serve them all kinds of different products and services, but you can't serve everybody. If you're trying to serve everybody, at least in the beginning, you're serving nobody. Pick a group of people that you're going to serve and start out with. Pick one individual. I'm going to change one person's life. And once I change that one person's life, I'm going to change another and another and another. And you will create your unique way of dealing with whatever it is that you deal with, solving and serving and providing whatever services it is that you provide. But you need to pick a group that you're going to help first and then branch out from there. After you get really good at helping and serving them, it's really easy to decide, okay, who's my next group of people? Say you serve stay-at-home moms first with your product or service. Well, then they start to get success and become really successful. Then say, I want to help women with chronic pain. And then you duplicate your system of helping stay-at-home moms with people that have chronic pain and are forced to stay at home because they have chronic pain and they can't really go out and work in the workforce in traditional job type situations. So number 4, and this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, and I'm sort of probably, I don't think I'm guilty of it, but I do think that I thought that if I got enough education and if I had enough degrees and if I was smart enough, business would come to me and I would be successful. If I had the right degrees, if I had the right education, if I went to the right schools, that I was entitled to a certain level of business success and that people would just flock to me. And that's kind of the whole entitlement mentality that's so popular nowadays. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have an entitlement mentality and you think you're better than other people and you think that things should just be handed to you and given to you and other people should help you and build your business and do things for you, you are in for a rude awakening in the world of business. And you will get slammed faster than spit. That's a weird expression. If you actually harbor that belief system and if you think that that's going to happen for you, let go of any sense of entitlement, let go of any sense of how things should be and create the life that you want and the business that you want and the world and the lifestyle that you want. Only you know what that is. So you are uniquely qualified to create that. Only you can create that and only you will be the one that creates it for you. You'll know what you want and then what you need to do each step of the way, one step at a time to get there and to achieve that. So don't think that because you have a fancy education or you have, fancy credentials or certifications that is going to guarantee your success. I'm going to guarantee that it has created some level of debt or maybe a mental not a mental, but a belief deficiency, thinking that things will come to you naturally or easily. They're not going to. Anything we want, we need to go for, strive for, work for, and put effort toward and energy toward in order to achieve that. Starting a business, you will learn that very, very quickly. So know that resting on your laurels isn't going to work. You have to continually strive and grow and adopt the philosophy of continuous learning, continuous improvement, always getting better, always competing against yourself to be a better version of you tomorrow than you are today. And number 5, and this is another one that I kind of hold near and dear to my heart. It's kind of expecting others to do it for you as well. Stop looking for investment. Stop looking for people to give you the money to do what it is that you want to do and pay your way toward creating what it is that you want to create. Number 1, you give up control and power in that business and in that organization. If you accept investment capital, there's an exchange for that. If you take on a partner and it's a 50-50 partner, you have now given away 50% of your business, your idea, your thoughts. Most businesses nowadays, with the way the world has changed, don't require a huge amount of investment. Unless you're creating a new drug or unless you're creating a new high-tech gadget or medical device or something, you don't need a bunch of investment up front. You can find ways to bootstrap and figure out how to do it yourself. And the power in that is the confidence that you get and the control that you maintain in creating the baby, the business, the organization that you want, that reflects the vision that you have and the goals and the dreams that you have and creates the lifestyle that you want for you and for the people that you're here to impact in the world. So know that if you're all begging for money and spending more energy doing that than creating the business and the system and the systems and the processes and the procedures and testing in small ways what it is that you want to do in the world, then there's something a little backwards. So spend time building and creating and understanding and planning the organization that you want, and then start testing it and building it in small ways and proving it that it works before you ever seek other people's investments. The only time you seek investments, sorry about that. I knew that was going to happen. I'm talking too much. The only time you really want to seek investments is when you want to really go fast, but you seek those investments after you've gotten your system's proven, your idea is proven, your research and development to the most part is tested and proven, and you've got it working, it's clicking along on a smaller level, and you just want to go really, really fast. I feel the same way about advertising. Build organically what it is you're trying to create before you put advertising dollars behind it on any platform. This is maybe just my belief system, but otherwise you're throwing money after an unproven thing. Find a thing, put a small investment, a small advertisement around it to test it. And then when it proves that it works, put a ton of money behind it, as much as you can with respect to advertising or investment. But you have to have something that works before you invest big in it and before you gamble someone else's money. Yeah, there's a little bit of, oh, well, it's just somebody else's money. And there's a lot of that mentality out there. But I'm telling you right now, that is not a success mentality. That will not help you grow and supersize and create the difference that you want in the world. It might give you a short-term win, but it's not going to give you the long-term win and bolster your confidence and help you to create what it is that you want in this life. And I want to add one quick bonus thing since my alarm's already gone off. One of the other biggest mistakes I see people make, especially female entrepreneurs, me included, is comparing ourselves to other people and not remembering that their journey is different than ours. The only competition we ever really have is ourselves, and ourselves being better each and every day. And whenever we compare ourselves to others, it's usually not in a good way, right? We don't ever compare ourselves to others and say, oh, I'm so much better than so-and-so. I'm awesome. I'm this cool influencer. You know, if you do that, we want to talk about ego, but ego doesn't seem to be a big challenge for women business owners, at least not the women business owners I meet. If anything, we go the opposite direction and we totally undervalue what it is that we do and what it is that we bring to the world, which is another bonus one. Don't undervalue what you bring to the world. Don't think that everybody already knows what it is that you have to offer. You are here to uniquely speak to a segment of the world and the marketplace that no one else can. You are uniquely qualified automatically as a human being to reach certain people that only you can reach. So don't compare yourself to others. Realize that there is only one you and that you are on your own journey, and only compare yourself to where you were yesterday, where you are today, and tomorrow compare yourself to where you were today. Don't compare yourself to other people ever, because you don't know their whole story. You don't know what's going on in their head. You don't know the struggles and the stress and the worry and the doubt and the fears that they've had to overcome and the beliefs that they've had to overcome to be where they are right now. You're seeing them maybe at the pinnacle of their success. So you can't compare somebody that's been in business for 20 years with you just starting out and been in business for 3 months. You can, but it's going to kill you. It's going to kill your business, and it's going to set you up for failure. So those are my top 5 or 7 things, mistakes that I see business owners, female business owners, and business owners in general making all the time, and the ways for you to avoid them. Mostly it's planning, it's believing in yourself, it's building on who you uniquely are, and doing the work, putting your effort in and building and creating the life that you want. That's it. Go out, make an awesome day. If you've got any questions or comments, go ahead, share them below. I would love to have more discussion about this. I would also like to invite you to subscribe to this channel, because I share tips, tricks, strategies, content, and things like this to help you grow and supersize your business in ways that you might not have imagined. Bye. That was a long one.